Subscribe to our channel by clicking the subscribe button. Click the bell button and enjoy the latest uploads from our channel.
Now and then we all are aliens. Yes, we are. Feeling like we don't belong.
Kapulang Pilipinas, magandang gabi. Ngayon ay Pebrero 9, taon 2021, and welcome sa Ka-Anton Live. At tayo ngayon ay mag-i-English muna dahil tayo ay may panauhin. Siguro kilala din ninyo, particular yung mga nakaabang noon kay FLM, sa mga issue ni FLM na maging ang inyong lingkod ay kauna-unahang nagbunyag. Mayo 1, taon 2020 sa tunay na pangalan ni FLM bilang Norman Mangusin. Dito lamang po sa channel na ito, sa Alien Talk, napakinggan ho yun. At nasundan na nga ako ng nasundan. Pero tayo ay bumitaw na. Bakit to tayo bumitaw? Dahil mababangis ho yung mga tao dun. Mababangis. Hindi ko inasahan na ganun pala yung mga ibang YouTuber, napakabangis. Nagpapakita ng tunay nilang karakter. At parang sa tingin ko hindi yata yun ang nais kong suotan. Kaya binitawan ko na rin yung issue tungkol dyan kay FLM. Pero ngayon, minarapat ko pong mabigyan ho namin ng analysis ni John Areceneaux. Areceneaux talaga yata ito, pero French ho yung kanyang pang-apelido. At para mabigyan ho ng critical analysis kung ano ho yung nangyari. Kung kayo ay nakasubaybay, siyempre nagsimula kay FLM din sa kanyang temporary popularity na talaga namang overwhelming, phenomenal ang kanyang success. Binibiro niya wala pang 3 buwan naka 1 million subscribers na siya sa YouTube, pero hindi po yan nagtagal. At may mga umusbong po mga personalidad baka tapos po ni FLM. Nandyan ho yung United Talino Warriors, nandyan yung ating kaibigan na si Mr. Balico, tapos siyempre isa sa mga kinagiliwan kong panuorin ay itong si Mr. John Areceneaux, at nandyan din siyempre yung nakakuha ng scoop o exclusive doon kay Francis Leo Marcos doon sa loob ng NBI na si Inday Marie. Pero nabalitaan ko, hindi na ako nakasubaybay, na itong si Inday Marie ay ngayon nalalagay na po sa nagigipit na ho yata at naipit na ho, nasa piitan ho yata siya ngayon. Kaya itong ating panawin ngayon, akin pong inimbitahan para mabigyan po ito ng analysis kung ano ba talaga nangyari at ba't nagkakaganon. Nagka-solid ang samahan. Maganda ang kanilang lakad, pero hindi ho nagtagal, sila mismo nag-aaway-away. Ba't ho ganon? Kaya yan, at least sa pagbabalik, papakilala na po natin ang ating panauhin. Alright, nasa linya na po ang ating panauhin sa gabing ito. Wala iba kundi si Mr. John Areceneaux. Did I pronounce your name well? Was that the proper
Areceneaux.
pronunciation?
It is, just leave the N-E-A-U-X silent. Areceneaux. N-O. You did fine. You did fine. Everybody sees the X and they want to try to make it sound like an X.
So
Yeah,
you have a French blood, no?
Yep.
All the while I thought that you know and you could speak Tagalog very well because you were just very involved, deeply involved with the affairs of Francis Leo Marcos online. And I was also intrigued. Why so? But before you take my first question, please greet our audience first and then move ahead.
You know,
John.
many of you saw me 2016. I became viral, very popular because I defended President Duterte when that British reporter said, President Duterte, what do you have to say in regards to the extrajudicial killing? And immediately I became enraged because, you know, Cory Aquino's administration did not even provide defense attorneys for their police, the PNP that were involved in criminal cases against the mafia, the drug lord, this and this. The Philippine government did not even pay the hospitalization for many of these generals that were ambushed and such and such. You know, they lost their jobs, their pensions. So I was always involved in trying to advocate for their rights, and it became enraged. So I did a viral video, Duterte, a man of no bull crap. I use the word bullshit. Okay. It went viral. My God, I had people calling me. I became instantly popular, and I don't like popularity. I like to hide in the background. I'm an investigator, basically.
Yeah.
So, you know, we became known. I understand Cebuano. I understand Tagalog, Bisaya, and I understand many languages, but speaking proficiently English is where my tongue is tangled in my teeth most of the time. So I followed Tete Digong until Francis Leo Marcos was proclaiming his heir to popularity and stardom. And I noticed that the tons of rice that were being represented were not belonging to anyone but the government, going to the LGUs, going to the barangay. He would show up at photo ops and he would look at me. It never, the most philanthropy he did is the first video he did at Bernard Chong's house when they had the red buckets and he was shining. Look at me, wave hi to the camp. You know, well organized. I give that a thumbs up. But it became a quagmire. Everyone needed a Jesus Christ in the new normal. Everyone personified him as Filipinos do in the Filipino way. They carried him in the crowd like the Black Nazarene. So I started barking loud again, exposing everything about him, along with other people. My main goal was to open the eyes of over 1 million people that were making this man a hero, making statements like, okay, Sir John, I don't care if he's a criminal. I don't care. He is like Robin Hood. He's doing good things with his good heart. And then I say he's not doing anything but taking your money. You know, it became crazy. When he went to jail, we stopped. Me, Sherry Salvador, a few people with a brain stopped. But then you have Inday Marie, you have the United Warriors, you have Warriors, the Alliance of Eastern Europe, all of these different self-proclaimed with badges and they have the logos, everything. Everybody was fighting for attention. Mac Paulo, you had everyone involved in the Get Attention campaign to try to get the remnant of who was following Francis Leo Marcos. You had Yama, you had the office Aswang. She was, boy, look at me, look at me. Everyone was coming to try to get their small portion of these viewing eyeballs, all of this attention. And You see the here. Look at this right here. You see bug teeth in this image right here.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. The
I
bug
actually
teeth.
bashed bug teeth like an idiot because he was exposing Inday Marie. The moment Francis Leo Marcos went to jail, he exposed Inday Marie, and we attacked him. I have to apologize to his face because I actually worked side by side with Inday Marie since 2016,
All right.
hearing the accusations for utongs not being paid,
Mhm.
hot worthless checks,
That's
this
right.
and this, you know, and then it just reached a crescendo. She tried to get us to defend her, and then all of a sudden she interviewed a fake human trafficking victim.
Oh,
Okay, and
fake.
that basically that put the nail in the coffin for me and Sherry Salvador. We became warriors against her. You know,
Mm, mm.
so the psychological makeup of people online today, people spend most of their time, they're locked down in their homes, their social agenda is participating to try to feel relevant, feel like they're doing something worthwhile, you know and then you have United Talino Warriors that was built on the legacy of Boy Marada. you know
That's right. That's
Everybody,
right.
look at me, but look at Boy Marada. He's still exposing scammers. He's still doing what he does because he's a professional. you
Mm-hmm.
know I do what I do. Everybody, but boy, everyone wanted to continue with this attention. Everybody wanted attention. They wanted attention. Nobody was talking about the Malacaña. Nobody was talking uh, uh, the poison of the shots. Nobody was talking about the issues with old Isco Moreno. That's a socialist. Everybody's putting all of their energy into useless things.
That's right. That's right. That's what I've noticed also. And within the Talino Group Warriors versus the original FLM supporters, one of them is my friend Jojo de Guzman. And they
Yeah.
form a sort of a quarrel between two groups, different groups. And then the quarrel, the quality of their attitude, the behavior, and of the character, personal characters are being shown in the open via YouTube. So you're seeing a plethora of conflict, intrigues, and all sorts of this stuff. They bring it in the open without any sense of shaming. I really couldn't imagine how these people have managed to do this only for the sake of obtaining or acquiring or gathering or capturing audience, but to the extreme point of you know they're showing the true colors, which I think that the social media is quite polluted with this with
Well,
their quality of bringing up something as a form of a news item for them, but it's only merely a crap.
it's
So
just when you sneeze, you broadcast mist. You broadcast film and mist. It might go 20 feet. Most people don't look at that. You might feel it hit you when somebody yawns. They're broadcasting liquid on these live content driven. Look at me. I am important. I am relevant. What
right,
you are witnessing. Look at Inday Marie. Inday Marie has been running from warrants since 1998, 1997, 1998. Moving around, moving around, moving around. Okay. Inday Marie evidently has an addiction to shabu.
oh,
Inday Marie evidently has a hard problem not asking her followers for money. Inday Marie has a very strong pretend. She has a very strong reoccurring desire to defend herself by always focusing, look at this, like a magician. I'm going to show you a trick soon. Just like the FLM people are saying, he's going to be out March 18th. He's going to be out this time, this
right.
time, this time. You know, the problem is we don't. You have two different types of people in the world today. You have people that can think and people that can see and make choices based on wise decisions. And you have people that are living in a dome of dumb response. Cognitive dissonance has become normalcy bias. The only way the Illuminati will control the world is through the ignorance of the people. Hence, you have politics, television programming, cult activity, racism, boundaries, nationalities, money, greed, pornography. Everything is in our life to keep us disenfranchised with being strong men and women of discipline and courage. So you're looking at all of these useless, irrelevant people barking loud, arguing.
Yeah.
You got FLM fighting with this one fighting with this one, laser vision, this one.
Years and
Everyone, if you stand and watch them, you can see who the liars are, you can see who the scammers are, you can see their motive operandi, because they are above common sense. They are passionately trying to force their opinion on you. And it's clear to see. How are you going to, number one, how can anyone support? Now you've got a quagmire happening here. You've got DDS and BBM, Duterte supporters and Bongbong Marcos supporters. Okay, they're all useless, totally useless since the election, in my opinion. And I don't care what anybody thinks of me, because I speak the truth.
Yeah.
During the election, you had solidarity. Okay, you had an idiot, Alan Peter Cayetano, walking next to Titi Digong. That was done by the oligarchs. But then you had a result rendering Lenny a useless dry milk yellow tart for a vice president that has done nothing but photo ops. No one has ever, including Bongbong Marcos, he's never aggressively fought Smartmatic. He's never aggressively come out of the eloquence of the Marcos family, which is very soft-spoken. Jaime has been the one fighting in the public for everything. So how can a fake Marcos gain so much attention? He's in jail and they're still worshiping him. It just shows the condition of humanity. No one can see the truth because their life is based on a lie. They have fake values. They have fake beliefs. They don't even realize that they won't survive. My brother, if the internet disappears tonight, the electricity, the money, most of the people on earth will die. They have no idea how to raise their own food. They have no idea how to be self-sustainable. They have no idea. So you put a voice, you give a cause, you give them a little banner, a little United Talino Warrior, this, whatever, some horns. They are ready to go. Let's fight. Rah, rah, rah. They're not going to face them.
I was really impressed because of the Talino and then the discernment and their ability to put everything into a critical perspective, which led, of course, that helped, that aided in the arrest of FLM. At first, of course, I was very pompous and I gave them my applause for the analysis and the whatever they've been trying to reveal or to convey via YouTube, and it was good. It was good, but
it was very good. But the thing is,
that at the end, or in a very short period of time, the quarrel ended up in their camp. The United Talino Warriors broke up. How could that be?
Their camp was established fraudulently. Mark Severa lost, the United Talino Warriors lost their YouTube channel. All of the details and idiosyncrasies in this, I don't know all the details, but I have an idea that Inday Marie had a hand in this, and the copyright claim came into the situation, and they lost their channel. But what I'm looking at right now, United Talino Warriors, they had 600, 700 people watching the live at one time. They have good animation. They have everything. Boss Mike, everyone, Graveyard, Takaro. They had all the characters, all the official legal, Anyway, look at them now. The fact is, the NBI, the PNP, the victims, people like me and Sherry Salvador and a few others were exposing, working diligently without getting attention, if you're going to battle, you do not tell your enemy what you're doing. The general does not broadcast on Facebook, we're going to come across your right flank and we will attack at 10:30 p.m. They don't, there's a mystery in the surprise of if Inday Marie would have known that they were coming to get her, she would have ran again. So, number one, United Talino Warriors was an opportunity for viewerships to capstone on the popularity of Norman.
Yes, right.
Okay, so Boss Mike had a good idea, and many people around him. We're gonna shine it up. We're gonna make it united. We're gonna do everything just a certain way. But the truth is, the man's in jail. What you gonna do? Keep talking about the same thing again. You're gonna get involved in quarreling with different people. It became a bona fide soap opera, So what I'm what I'm dealing with is, what is the legitimacy of trying to take the credit on the character of the investigations? I mean, look at the cybercrime chief of the NBI, Roland. How many years he followed and built a case on Norman? 2007. His career was following Norman. Okay, yeah. Norman was not apprehended all of these years.
You're referring to Mr. Sanchez.
Yes.
Was he?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was on the case as a grunt, walking the beat like a normal officer, and he rose to the top with this case in his portfolio. Okay. Now we've got idiots that are very popular. Very popular. I'm not going to mention their name because I oh my goodness, I'm in fear for my life. There's people that have utongs on their house. They were sugar mamas for Norman. They're in the limelight.
Yeah.
You see, there's one idiot roaming the world as a philanthropist with the Marcos name. Oh, he's not a Marcos. You see, there's people involved in this that are still standing like a big tree in the desert. There's no grass around it. What are we going to do? I can't go and say everything I know, because it will destroy the case. It will make people do things that but the problem is Norman had support from the public, from the politicians of the country. Cecile Salvador, she was with Norman. I called her out. I said, you ran for mayor in Manila and you're not gonna rebuke Norman. You see, I use the word rebuke a lot because rebuke is a formal declaration. I have nothing to do with this. I do not stand for his values. I have nothing to do with Francis Leo Marcos. In other words, Norman Manx. You see, but they did not. They continued. They act like it's not gonna. The thinking man and woman remembers these little things, these little subtleties, So I'm still amazed at how many people are holding on to the popularity of Norman. Norman's the hero for many people that have earned a lot of money with super chat, with monetized videos online. Norman is one of the ones with honor. He's in jail facing his criminality.
That's right.
Now you've got a judge that was murdered by an MK Ultra participant, a lawyer that had no motivation to shoot. It was caused by COVID-19. Okay, thank you. That one judge in the human trafficking case was going to lead right to the oligarchs. All right? Because Norman was heavy into human trafficking.
Yeah.
So how did Norman go from a donut man in Saudi to a criminal?
Are you suggesting that Norman has something to do, or the circle that he was involved with must have something to do with the child trafficking that has been coming out of the news very recently?
Yes.
Do you see a connection?
The human traffickers will use people like Norman. Human traffickers will not use public faces that have a lot of credibility. They will use scammers and small-time criminals, mafia bosses. They will use people with a lot of ego and ignorance because they're a good fall guy.
So I was thinking that Norman might have been involved with the child trafficking. So
yes, he was.
Was he?
Norman was involved with child trafficking. Norman was involved with giving jobs like he had an agency where he
Yep.
was getting
But it
he
all
was getting Filipinos to work overseas.
but these were of legal ages. They were all
They were legal ages, but they ended
female
up in a trap.
adults.
They ended up
But
at a brothel.
yeah, but
You know,
not children, no, not children. So I was
not,
thinking, but maybe he was somehow involved with the
but there are children that have died tied to Norman's case, rape and murder.
children.
Children. Now this empire of Norman, there's even competition with some of the characters that was exposing Norman, like Jack Patty. That's a cohort of Inday Marie. That was a short-term boyfriend soiree, whatever. Let's run and hide and get money and go and hide here. Jack Patty was one that was actually with Norman. And then
Hmm.
Jack Patty and Norman's personalities clash. So Jack Patty all of a sudden become a self-proclaimed, I'm a good guy. Norman's a scammer. Well, he doesn't want to talk about his criminality. You see, you've got criminals fighting, acting like they're innocent, not even realizing that they are culpable for charges also. You've
Mm.
got one that created a very popular group online that had many of us fooled. He acted like he had to hide in the highlands involved in a murder, and all of this. Come to find out he's guilty also. Many people will go to jail. Some people are going to go to jail soon because they rode this wave instead of just shutting their mouth and
Yeah,
reducing their gossip. They got out
yeah,
in front of the limelight. You
that's
know,
true. That's what I've
you've
noticed.
got you've you've got
Uh,
idiots that say, I need a gun and I need a safe house. Can y'all help me? Online,
yeah.
public broadcast.
Wow.
I need a safe house and a gun. I need to hide. Well, they're gonna find you now, stupid. The NBI knows where you are now.
Why are
You
they
know,
saying these things? Why are they saying these things online in
because they
open?
have no idea. They
Huh?
can't reason with
Are they,
common sense. They have no common sense, my brother. No common sense.
over what purpose? Over what sense? Over what motivation? Because they want viewers?
They
Are they
want
pers-
people to
they want
they
people
want people to believe in them. Okay.
and
A
subscribers?
victim, a victim will always cry, and the one who perpetrated the victimization will be the hero in most cases.
Correct.
How many
Correct.
times did the child cry to the mother and the father, the priest raped me? And the child was beaten and the priest was worshipped.
Mm.
That is a standard operating procedure in dysfunctional families around the world.
Notice that it is a common practice for these people to malign individuals that many of them, they barely know the true character of the person they're maligning. Eh,
Exactly. At
and
least
I
when I was maligning Francis Leo Marcos, I knew his character,
uh,
you know.
and
But
well, I feel sorry for them, but that's how it happened, and it's very evident with the way things broke out. The group they formed, the United Talino Warriors. So I thought all the while I thought that these are very intelligent and respectable
they,
individuals
they
who
really are.
over evil, and then voila, the evil
They
resides with,
really are.
and they broke up.
They're intelligent. They're respectable people, but the term WTF question mark?
Yeah.
WTF are you still talking about Norman Mangosteen after he's in jail? Go to another topic. Follow the big boss at the top of the pyramid, Boy Murata. Boy Murata, I'm friends with Boy Murata, Manuel
Mhm.
Murata.
Yes, boy,
I know Lenny was involved in killing her husband. Okay. I know that plane landed softly. That was a soft landing. They tortured that poor man to find out who he was investigating because his job was an investigating means committee for pork barrel. He was investigating Drillian. He was investigating his wife. So how convenient. I had my mind was thinking this. I called Manuel. He says, yes, you're right, Sir John. I'm going to talk about it tonight. So if we do not have the media to be non-biased, the media is supposed to protect us from the government. But the media creates the byline and the cognitive dissonance through Order Out of Chaos, all of these different hibachi grill stories, very talented. They can create a narrative easily, and the people, the serfs, the sheeple, they'll believe everything. You see? So, this psychological makeup of a truth warrior online is easily personified through these characters that you see with United Talino Warriors. Some of them have backed away. United Talino Warriors, I believe, will manifest in a good direction. Right now, Boss Mike is doing a documentary, this and this, whatever, I don't know. But, the one thing I was looking for is, where are you going to protect the victims? Most of the victims have backed out of the court case. They're not going to be in the prosecution because they're scared to death to die. All of this public attention brought on Norman's case has caused the judge to be murdered, and the murderer killed himself. It's quite obvious that the Illuminati, the oligarchs, are even involved in Norman's life. The oligarchs desire to replace the LP with politicians like Manny Pacquiao, Alan Peter Cayetano, Grace Poe, and Isco Moreno. Okay? I shed light on Isco Moreno's affiliation with the NPA and the CCP, all of this stuff, and people were saying, so he's trying to make peace with them.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's already quite deep for me at the moment to take. So,
well, the thing is,
okay,
we're dealing with some very serious stuff right now.
Yeah, it's quite very serious, and I've heard about that judge who was murdered, and the murderer killed himself. And you think that was very much related to FLM?
That was an MK Ultra. That was a mind mapping. That was done to take out the judge to set a precedence for all the prosecutors in the Philippines not to touch Norman. Leave him alone. The fact is, Norman could walk and be free soon because of that.
So who's behind Norman after all?
Who's behind Norman?
You don't have
let's see.
Please don't drop any names. Please don't drop any names, but you could provide a clue or a hint, but no names, please.
Well, I'll categorize them. You have billionaire baklaks. You have international corporations like Char Grill. You've got CIA operations that have corporations around the world.
Okay.
It's how many international interests are involved in keeping kababayan down in the dirt. How many thousands of years have been involved to suppress the independence and the magnificent shining life of a Mahalican? Before the Illuminati, before the Spanish, before the monarchy and the Catholic Church affected the Philippines, most of your people had clothing made of gold thread. Okay? They lived in peace for millions of years. So, what is the object? Only the truth will set you free. And the truth is, Maharlika is not Ophir. It is the cradle of civilization. It is the Garden of Eden, for lack of better words. And, we go back to these ley lines, the stress. Our existence is about to give birth to a new epoch of time. Will we survive it? All of these people that are going crazy, look at me online, arguing, fighting online, cursing each other, committing criminality. They're just a byproduct of not having a good disciplined life. Their karma is wailing up through the abundance of their life. They're starting to show in their daily attitude and activities who they are. You see? They're purging.
I'm quite intrigued with the information that you shared with us. Yeah, as I told you earlier, I was no longer familiar, or I was no longer in the loop of what's been happening around Norman post FLM. When he was already sent to prison, I was already out of beat. So when you mentioned that someone is behind FLM, a big time guy, a bakla, as you mentioned.
Oh, there's a bakla, definitely. Most of these, I respect baklas that are public,
Yeah,
but it's all
but
these politicians.
what is this person supposed to obtain, or what is motivation supporting FLM? I thought
Well, the
FLM was
more the,
a small time player who's frequently going to casinos only to take or to seek opportunities or chances to
well,
fool people,
if,
or
if
where
you
he
look
gets.
at the new, if
But
you look at the new, no,
I was not expecting that the hole was really much deeper than what is being given to us, or what.
I tell you this. What would be the strongest motivation for a local billionaire to follow the directions of the international trillionaire class of Illuminati? You've got a local billionaire that I will not name that has gaming factions, gambling factions online, designing video games. That should explain who the hell I'm talking about. But you've got the AI aspect of all of this coming into the mind mapping in this virtual reality we're experiencing. Everyone staring at a phone. There's no one really looking at the real world and ciphering, digesting the reality of all of the disconnect that's out there socially. So you've got a local motivation to get a hero, okay, to destroy the Malacañan, to destroy Duterte's initiative to bring back Mahalica. So that's a local initiative. That's a countrywide initiative. But behind this, the human trafficking is a small aspect. It's like a finger on the hand. There's 5 fingers and a hand. It has a purpose. The suffering of humanity is one thing, but the cognitive dissonance, the denial of humanity to acknowledge that humans are suffering, and the criminality. Look at 110 million Filipinos. Every election, they're going to elect someone, but they will never hold that public official accountable. They will wait for the next hope, the next hero, the next savior. Okay. We're being used based on our ignorance. So you've got a billionaire bakla friends with Francis Leo Marcos, who is naturally gay. Okay. He's gay. But his strong suit is he can finesse women. He's a silver tongue. And he'll have a woman, he'll get a sugar mama, and he'll get millions from her. And then he'll play with her brain and he'll threaten to kill her. He has little cohorts that play his game also. So, I mean, it's a long, complicated thing, but Francis Leo Marcos was a criminal enterprise. You see?
Yeah, but he's a very talented man, a very unique man. He really has the in thing, or that
Yeah.
mystical thing within him that enables him to do this, to do everything what he desires. No, if you can captivate
Exactly.
audience, a lot of audience, and I find it really phenomenal. So, do you think that there's a person behind him who would use him to destroy things, or to destroy perceptions, or to
Well,
influence
if
people according to that man's desire? Is that what you're saying?
I
Or is
want you to reason with me on one thing. What one Filipino has an original plan that has established itself in the last 10 years in the Philippines for Filipinos and has perpetuated to this day? The only person I know is President Duterte. And then he became circumvented with Mahuti attacking Marawi. The CIA shut him down when he talked to Putin. And President Duterte said, my AFP is beholden to the Pentagon for militaristic things. You see, he's being controlled. So with any one Filipino having a motivation to use Norman, they're just allowing Norman to be the shining seagull. You throw him a fish, he'll be happy. He's okay. Leave him alone. There's no one with their hand to him like a puppet. The system is using the ignorance of the people to support and worship such a man as this for their cause to destroy the LP. The main issue in allowing Norman to be viral and so vocal to be the philanthropist, in one live he did Francis Leo Marcos, Jesus Christ, and Howard Hughes. He said, "Diba? Huge. Howard, he was claiming to be like Jesus. So much stress. It's so hard. And people were sending money.
In the same
The ignorance of the people.
in the same
Huh?
way that the cabal is fearing or afraid of Donald Trump because of his popularity and we saw it in FLM's case
Right.
months ago. So
Right.
so
See, they were going to replace the male Marcos with a fake male. He would have ran for Congress or Senate, but he wasn't the right age before 2013.
and,
So he was the right age now. If he
and the
wouldn't
chance
have been in jail.
he was nobody before, but with the right timing, he was able to capture people's attention
Yes.
that way. And so
By
it
the
was really
people.
popular. It was really
See,
popular. I was,
my
in
brother.
fact, I was impressed. I was impressed of Norman's ability to, you know, to captivate the hearts of the Filipino people. Because of the character is not commendable at all, but
Well,
he's got a talent compared to Bongbong Marcos. Uh,
Bong Bong
Norman,
he's silent. He's just an aristocrat. I'm as a
yeah,
politician. What I'm
uh,
dealing with is, why are humans allowing themselves to be led like sheep? It's because
mm,
of people like Norman. All the oligarchs had to do is laugh while Norman was gaining popularity. The oligarchs want and desire to destroy the LP. The LP is very costly for the oligarchs' political control. People like Drillian. We've got some issues in Filipino politics. It's called the LP. So who's going to replace them? Well, it's an American beholding breed stock of people. I mentioned the names already. That's your new politicians that are going to stand against President Duterte. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to blame the last year and a half, 2 years. Oh, the failure of the Malacanang. The people need something new. They're not going to look at East Coast destroying street food. Sorry. They're not going to look at East Coast saying, go back to the Providence, you indigenous person. I want Imperial Manila to be like New York. They're not looking at the imperial agenda, the provincial laws. The two main issues in the Philippines is provincial laws. Get back to your mountain, get back to your province and shut up. Your wages will be less. That's the way it is. Grow your mangoes and your ladyfingers and raise your chickens. We're going to be in Cebu. We're going to be in Quezon City, Manila. We want this disparity. These issues are only allowed because of the people.
mhm.
When everybody elected President Duterte, the first thing they did is they elected themselves to open their mind, open their eyes, and discipline and grow up, because they're the boss. How many million voted for President Duterte? Quite a few,
So
but none of them.
had Norman not been arrested, if he remains a free man at this point in time, or what do you think he was able to achieve by now?
By now, Vice
He,
President Lenny would be the president.
he and his backer. What do you think they were able to achieve by now? Had he
I
been
tell you
had
this as a fact. If Norman was not arrested, Vice
uh,
President Lenny would have taken siege of the Malacanang, and Teti Digong would be on the mountain in Davao. You'd have Lenny as the president right now.
was
That's the kind of power that Norman had.
yeah, he has that supernatural power. I agree with you. But had Norman indicated that he's aligned with the liberal or with the Dilawan, or did he reveal it, or did he show anything about his political alignment or political clinging
The only
during?
thing Norman was aligned with is this legacy of Ferdinand Marcos.
Mm,
Norman was aligned to blame Bong Bong on the lack of potency for the Marcos name. Norman was going to stand up and be the alpha male and
Yeah.
fulfill Ferdinand Marcos' promise, the last will and testament. That would have been the fake false flag promise that would have led that idiot to be in office. Everyone would have turned against the Malacanang. Everyone. DDS and BBM would have turned like from one day to the next. It's like a herd mentality. Oh, DDS. To hell with DDS. One split second it just takes for people to just change their countenance and their their power.
I get it.
Our life, we manifest this reality by creating it every day. We participate with this reality every day. It's like consumerism. If you want to boycott, go ahead.
As you may be very well aware that the main theme of my show relates to Marcos' wealth and in finding who the real signatory is and things like that. And there've been chances that some of FLM's followers would try to sound off that FLM is the sole signatory, that he's gonna be the man he'll be able to release these funds, and he's gonna be, the one who's going to save the Filipinos and make the Philippines a great nation, etc., etc., etc. So
wow,
I don't believe
that
it.
Amazing.
Certainly, I know that everything about it would be a scam, and
it's a scam now. The only thing legitimate.
But
if
he'd been successful, he'd been a free man by now, still a free man by now, and probably will be able to propagate and spread that message across, and voila, he's a man.
Right.
Millions of Filipinos would adore him and promise to vote for him in the coming elections, maybe not just as a senator, but perhaps as a president, because he'll be able to release the funds and to unlock the enigma behind his wealth, etc., etc.
Nasara. You see, there's always a plan coming. The Great Reset. Oh. You've got the idiot in Indonesia. You've got Benjamin Fulford, that other idiot. You've got David Wilcox, that other idiot, talking to blue chickens. You got this one, good. All of these people disenfranchising the human from looking in the mirror and changing and growing up. We have to be accountable from a truth and a lie. The only truth about the wealth of the Marcos family is what bank holdings they have and properties they have now. And all the papers you see Imelda brandishing in that room, that's all contracts. Ferdinand Marcos was very wise, just like who else? Jose Rizal. Ferdinand Marcos basically nuded. He denuded the oligarchs with a contract. A financial contract that matured in 50 years and they never paid it. The Marcos gold, the Philippines gold has been gone for a long time.
For a long time. Yes, that's what I've discovered. And this is quite critical because some of those supporters of BBM are trying to float the idea that BBM will be able to unlock the mysteries once he sits as president, which I don't believe at all.
The thing is, Marcos TT did not make.
They're just writing it in order to capture support, but it's going to be based on what? On such a baseless thing, and it would end up nothing. It would end up to nothing.
Look at the Bible. Look at the Bible. Look at the Bible.
Yes.
Look at Christianity, Catholicism, the Quran. It's all based on stories that were created psychologically to divide and conquer herds of people that lived in peace.
Yes.
Now they fight for no reason. They justify it because somebody's going to save them. You see? Why do you have these character traits that you worship? I forgive you in the name of Jesus. Oh, okay. What about right now, idiot? What about you're in the world, of the world, you're a hypocrite, you're an idiot, you're a vain, repetitious behavior, and you don't even see it when the man you worship said to be in the world and not of it. You see
Hmm.
that there's people can't see the truth from a lie. This is the day where our scales come from our eyes,
And
singularity, the pineal gland does, and
you
our
think that
open mind.
a lie would end up as a lie in the end, no matter what route it takes, what maneuvers it takes, but it's still a lie when it comes to the finishing line. So what? Let's wrap up this FLM, the Talino Warriors, and
Yeah.
the Inday Marie issue. Give me a synopsis, a synthesis of all the things that we discussed regarding how it all ended up that way, why it ended up bad. Was it because it started bad, that's why it ended up bad? How do you
Well,
analyze it?
during the time when people started finding out about Inday Marie's criminality, you had all of these talking heads trying to get attention. Look at me, look at me. Click, subscribe, and share, and share. Click the chat, buy the T-shirt.
Yan,
Okay,
yan.
the truth is, Norman's in jail. Leave it alone. The case is already destroyed by the murder of the judge. The witnesses don't want to go to court. Everybody wants to leave Norman alone. So the only thing is the country, the state, by the people, for the people, has power against Norman. But Norman could go out of jail. So here's Inday Marie, more relevant. I'm going to go here. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. Dates and times. But in secret, she's talking to people. I need money for this. We're going to do this. And for some reason, she started collecting money to pay for her criminality, to pay her utongs, to pay her bail, to pay all about me, me, me. And people worship Inday Marie, Super Inday.
How
Now
much of
you
that
had,
would that been? Would that have been? All the
I
utangs.
would say, 300,000 to a million.
Ah, okay.
It's hard to say because there's so many different cases that you're watching, and then you've got David Illigan coming in saying, trying this and this one, people trying to be, look at me.
It's
David
another.
Illigan said, I saw her Kili Kili and I fell in love. The thing
Um,
is, she's in jail. Norman's in jail. We're going to be dead if we don't grow up and take charge of our lives. If we do not stop all of this online foolishness. All of her followers, there's going to say, half of her followers are going to say, I cannot believe she lied to me. She made us believe she was a good woman. She's a criminal. The other half are going to worship her just like Francis Leo Marcos' remnant is worshiping the cult of Norman. We have to render unity consciousness. We have to see the truth from a lie, and we have to use this social media for something to reason together based on what can we do together to change and be relevant as humans. Because if we do not take our place as the creation that is the strongest two-legged walking creators or destroyers of earth, we're going to be destroyed because of our own ignorance. Everything is a trap. The mark of the beast is us. We're the beast. Hell is now. It's a reverse ideology. Do we idolize our consumerism and our ignorance, or do we personify the fact that we open our eyes and we made a choice to live, to take care of ourselves and learn, not to be part of these audiences and these cults and these cliques? Or all the Inday Marie, one time she was online for 11 hours.
oh,
11 hours
that's something, eh? Marathon.
saying nothing.
Just saying nothing?
Just talking, nothing.
No,
50
okay.
different people watching, sending money, this and that. That's, we've got to invest ourselves into something more fervent than this. We've got
Why,
to plant some
why,
seed. And do
why,
some,
why, why, why was she soliciting money? What for? For what
well,
reason?
there's always a story. There's she's helping a victim, or
Ah,
she's doing this, and at the end she was helping herself. I need to
okay.
raise money to pay my bail. I need to raise money to pay I'm going to get clearance. I'm going to go to the US. I'm
What
going to
what
go.
started as a good objective? What started as a good mission or as a good plan ended up something like it ended up with a personal desire to gain out of that endeavor.
Right.
So these people aren't true to themselves.
No.
They're only loyal to what personal needs or to their personal desires. So that's why
Right.
they they ended up that way.
Exactly.
In as much as those defenders of FLM, those who was against FLM, but in the end they were only interested in obtaining subscription, YouTube subscription, and
That's right.
for the
That's
purpose
right.
up to the
You,
extreme point of presenting fake victims and fake witnesses, etc., and to the expense of other people whom they maligned, only to have a sensational show in the end. But at the end,
exactly. I mean, the main characters promoting Francis Leo Marcos right now, they don't believe that Francis Leo Marcos was a Marcos. They know the truth, but they ride it. Like Mac Paulo, he's riding it till the end.
yeah.
You know, you've got you've got all these people that are still saying Norman's name,
Oh,
Francis Leo Marcos. You
so
know,
I think that they broke some rules. They broke the rules of it, of an ethical presenter, of an ethical YouTuber.
exactly.
That's not proper. That's not right. Now,
No,
before we wrap this up, do you think Francis Leo Marcos is going to be released or will be released on bail, or some political
I'll tell.
person would meddle and get him out of jail? What do you think? What are the
I
possibilities? Or
believe.
will he rot in jail?
I don't believe that there's a politician alive in office right now that will come to his aid because he's a hot potato. Just like they're not going to kill Tete Digong because he set the precedence in 2016. He said, if I die, the CIA did it. Right now, Norman has a strong possibility of being let out of jail if the cockpit of chismis called Facebook and YouTube continues the because that's what has destroyed his prosecution. No one cares for the victims. You see, the sanctity of the case, shut up. You do not expose. If you love Norman, shut up about the case. The prosecution needs you to shut up. Don't shed light on the prosecution or the defense. Let it go to court. That's the sanctity there. That's got to
Mhm.
be dealt with properly. Just the quagmire and the confusion could lead Norman to being free. Just like the same thing with Inday Marie. She could be out on bail. Even there was a no bailable charge. She falsified the death of her own husband to marry a Nigerian Africano.
Oh my.
Okay. So what are we going to do? The more we engage with this friction, the more activity with this negative, we add to the negativity and we make it nullify itself. It doesn't become presented as a judgment. It becomes an active participation, and people, it's the people's participation that are destroying rule of law. All of this social media and the oligarchs love it. They love it when we're all fighting and arguing because we're not working to destroy them. And the only way we destroy our slavery is not to be a slave and not to be ignorant. So Norman could walk free. It's not going to be from a politician in the Philippines, though. It's going to be from just the sheer mass of no prosecution, no witnesses that have the courage. They don't feel safe. You witnessed a judge get her head blown off, and the man shot himself in the head, and they blame it on COVID-19. Okay, now what's the deal? The deal is that's a high pressure issue. It should have been litigated properly so that everyone could have been apprehended. But no, it's people are too far gone. This is going
So,
to become.
so you're telling me that the witnesses have backed off
A lot of them have backed off. Some of the key witnesses have backed off
out of fear?
out of fear.
Oh my God.
And in private, I can tell you one of the main ones, and you can look at this person's profile and you can see exactly when they became bold, when they didn't worry about going to court. They didn't worry about their life anymore. And I'm talking about key witnesses that were involved in Norman's life for many years. But it's okay. Money talks. You see? Money talks. You can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make them drink. This thing is gonna resolve itself, and the best way, I have backed off. I didn't even go online and bash Inday Marie. She bashed herself.
Yeah, that's right.
She put herself in jail. So right now, I just want to work with people like you so we can try to open our eyes and open our mind and make a change, a
Yeah.
collective conscious agreement to be men and women of honor. My God.
So I would like to also to clarify to the viewers, to our listeners, that we discussed this issue or this matter regarding the FLM case in Inday Marie and the Talino Warriors, not because we want to criticize what happened, but
No,
what we wanted right now is to extract moral lessons from what have we observed, how it everything evolved into these things. No, it started
we,
good
we
and
have
then bad.
we
So
have a
what
moral obligation to mind our business.
we have to discuss this. We have to discuss this and show you a picture how I saw it, but not meant to malign or to insult these
We're not
people.
taking sides with anything but the truth and the lies. Right
Yeah, we have.
now,
Well, it's not my practice to insult people or to
yeah,
criticize my fellow YouTuber. It's not that, but it was quite unavoidable at this point in time that we need to show you some pictures to present some pictures in order for our audience to understand clearly what we are leading to, where this discussion is leading to. So the moral of this lesson, as you were saying, please,
the
the,
moral of
the,
this lesson
the
is
lesson of the
let
story. Yeah.
let the legal system do its job. Not hardly any of these people that are presenting defending FLM or Inday Marie, hardly any of them are degreed journalists. Hardly any of them are prosecuting attorneys or defense attorneys. They're people that have their emotions in the game. They're trying to get attention. They're in this to win for the case of what someone else has said to defend themselves based on lies. The truth always comes out. The more people involved in this confusion, the longer it prolongs and it adds to the criminality pretense. But the people have a stronger propensity to continue their criminality if they have people supporting them in a positive way. And that's what Inday Marie did. She collected probably 1 million in a short period of time to pay for her criminality so she could get a clearance to get a passport to leave the country. Why?
Oh,
So she could run from warrants. So, and people supported her for that. And the victims are just like this. I cannot believe, look at these people supporting this woman that stole from us. You know, but anyway, the
anyway,
moral of the story is mind your business and take care of your life and let's do something positive.
yes, yes. Like what? Now,
Like what?
share
Learn
with us
how we can have power.
how we can group
Discipline
together
ourselves.
and counter the challenges that we are about to face very soon. One of
Oh
these would be
yes.
the forced
You know,
vaccination and the totalitarian control, the regimes that is about to set in and control much of our lives. So, what do you think we should be doing at this point in time?
mandatory vaccine is a no-no in the Philippines. And I basically pontificated last year that the Philippines would be the first nation to make mandatory vaccination, and you would see civil unrest because of the vaccine, and it's happening now. You've got your Congress is pushing to have mandatory laws. You've got even the Malacanang is saying we need to make it all at one time and we need to be swift about it. There's a master plan to kill as many people as possible, to stop us from ascending. There's a time, there's a schedule of happening in the universal clock, and we can't run from it. We're going to be faced with a flash moment of change, a purge, and we need to be positive, loving, kind contributors of coexistence, or we will be xed out. They're trying to take our humanity. They're trying to transhumanize us. They're trying to make us the beast system.
That's
Everything
right.
is in our face. It's already a one world government. It's already a one world religion. The next last thing is cryptocurrency, and the human is the RFID chip. We just need to be men and women of truth and love, and we need to have courage to stand up and say no. We
Mhm.
need to do the things that we're created to do, you know, and that's not to be leaders of spiritual movements, just to live our life on a simple level, face to face, te a te, like they say in Africa, face to face. Where's your garden? You have flowers. Is that your wife? I love, live your life simple. But it's we're living a high-tech age of new normal, and people don't see what's happening. Those that do see what's happening, let's come together peacefully and be a strong voice of solidarity that says, look, we know the truth. Open your eyes. Look at the people dying in the UK right now. Look at the people around the world, all the millions of doctors and nurses that are in class action lawsuits against the WHO and the UN and the CDC. Look at the fact that we are in the crux. We're at the crossroad of New World Order.
Yeah, we are at the crossroads right now, but of course we need to start somewhere, and so that we won't end exactly where they want us to end. We got to do something, and we got to join hands to gather our forces and create a collective representation of the people who value liberty and freedom. So where do we start?
I think if me and you can do another show with our brother, the brother you had before, I like the
Ed Neri.
Ed, he's very. There's something about him,
Yes.
If we can get together and talk about this phenomenon known as Lucy, this real person, this challenge in my life, a Jawa. If we can actually bring this down to the fact that, do you know humanity went? All of humanity made a choice, started with a man and a woman, and then families, tribes, continents. People did not become enslaved in a group hypnosis. People became enslaved by choice, one by one. So if we can talk about this transhumanized genetic anomaly, this issue, I believe we can bring some talking points that would bring more participation for people to see the light of exactly what's happening. Because the coronavirus, it's nothing but the corona burst of the ascension, the age of Aquarius coming in, the golden age, the flash, the 3 days of darknesses you can't see because of the bright light. I mean, let's deal with reality. Historically, the earth has been destroyed or it had a renaissance. Okay. The last time we had a renaissance, 70 AD, we had a renaissance. And then we were conquered. The 1,000 years, the millennial reign, we were conquered by the oligarchs. They created religion based on how to reverse psychology and create an antithesis human existence. And that's where we're at now. We deny our own divinity by looking for it in the clouds when it's actually in our heart.
That's true.
So I propose that,
likelihood to God, our likeness to God.
Right.
We were created in the likeness of God, but we're not exercising it. We're not aware of what the thing is. Going to empower us to act and behave like God.
That's right. And God doesn't walk around saying, kiss my ring. God does this.
So let's schedule for another round of talk with Ed Neri. We talk about transhumanism. As we were able to touch a part of transhumanism issue last Saturday, but we were only focused on the robotics and the AI thing. But maybe we could dig deeper into it, and we'll be happy to have you on board again, John.
Okay, my brother. And maybe we can bring Lucy so you can meet who I'm talking to. This is a real scenario. It's a working thesis, and the more I learn, the more it's a metamorphosis. It's happening now. It's a very sweet story. But the truth is, we're all one person. We're all an expression of each other, and we need to be equal. We need to love each other and care for each other.
And of course, our friends over there have been talking sensitive things. Time to regroup and time to figure it out how you could help the society and empower your fellow men towards positivism, so that we'll be able to champion the threats that we are about to counter in the coming days. So, thank you very much, John, for joining me tonight. Until next time.
Thank
Good
you, brother.
night
Have a
and
good
good
day.
evening to you. Still starting your day.
Love you.
Till next
Bye.
Till next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, brother.
Subscribe to our channel by clicking the subscribe button. Click the bell button and enjoy the latest uploads from our channel.
Now and then we all are aliens. Yes, we are. Feeling like we don't belong.
Ayun, nako. Napa-English tuloy tayo. Bueno. Dakuha na natin yung ating kuan. Oy, si Melo. Hey, thank you, Mel. Thank you, Mel, sa 50 pesos na super chat. Let's unite, save humanity from the plan of the elites. Tama ka dyan. I think we need to start talking about it. And we have to draw our plans, ha? Mel, ha? Para maayos natin ito. Talagang nakakatakot na ito mangyayari kapag hindi tayo papalag. Hindi naman peaceful lang naman Marami dapat ang magsalita. Yung mga doktor dito sa atin, siguro dapat magsalita kayo. Gaya ng nasa ibang bansa, gaya sa Denmark, yung mga doktor mismo nagsasalita. Na hindi sila naniniwala na ganun ka-deadly itong pandemic na ito. Ay, maraming salamat sa iyo, Topi, sa iyong membership. Thank you, Topi. Christopher Abanto. Okay, atin ang batiin ng ating mga tuners. Audience, June Perez, good evening. Kay ABCDF Canton. Makikinig lang ako mamaya sa programa mo. Thank you, ABCDF. Topi. Leticia Pelicano, thank you. Adnaloy Mejilla. Good evening, Canton, sa lahat ng viewers. Leonardo Santiago. Okay, Leonie. Ang United Talino ay itinatag ni Manuel Mejorada at marami ring mga dating miyembro dyan ang umalis na sa grupo. LB Salvador, gandang gabi po muli, Canton, sa guest nyo at sa inyong lahat. Ingat lang din. Annabel Channel, good evening sa iyo, Annabel. Thank you. Adelina Sarmiento, Pax B. Azibosi, good evening, Canton, kay Ed Neri, Principe, Elizabeth, and John Areceneaux. Marivic Villarante, good evening sa iyo, Marivic. Elias Yoko from Lake Cebu, magbuhat ng hindi na tumupad si Principe sa pangako niya noong August ay marami nang nawala ng pag-asa. Ang maginang Marcos pa rin ang last hope. Ako rin medyo nawala na tayo ng pag-asa dahil kung ang purpose na lang dyan ay kukubrahin yung pera dun sa mga kawatan, dun sa kabal, banking kabal, nalaman natin na mga hindi tumutupad sa usapan yan. Interest lang nila yung pag-atima. Dun sa sarili nilang interest, ang kanilang inaatupag, paano pa? Wala talaga tayong aasahan. Tingnan na lang natin, Yan po ang makakapagpaliwanag kung bakit itong si Tarsiana Rodriguez, yung pinagbilinan ni Severino Santa Romana ng kanyang kayamanan, wala nga akong nakuha. Meron ng dalang libreta, meron ng dalang katibayan na ipinagkaloob sa kanila, pinagkaloob din sa asawa na si Luz Rembano. Wala nga akong nakuha. Pumunta pa ako sa New York. Pumunta pa sa abroad, wala pang nakuha. Paano pala, doon ka tatahol dun sa mas malaki pang aso. Ang kakahulan mo, magnanakaw. Talaga hindi na yung babalik. Kaya siguro pinaka-resolution natin dito, yung kung sino yung mga nagtatago dyan, mga nag-iingat na banker, wag niyo muna akong i-reveal kung nasaan yung mga yan. Payo ko lang payo ho. Tsaka itong programa na nandyan sa History Channel, Jack Ruby. Ito si Jack Ruby. Itong History Channel, Kudyo yata may-ari niyan yung meron silang reality TV show, yung nagti-treasure hunting dito sa Pilipinas. Totoo ho yata yan? Alam nila? Kunyari lang, dinadala lang sa programa, kunyari lang reality show, pero talaga nagti-treasure hunting yung mga yan. Duda ko. Kaya siguro, yan na lang muna. Kung meron kayong tinatago dyan, kung kayo ay mga keepers, huwag nyo nang intayin na meron pang papadala si Apo Lakay. Huwag nyo na antayin na buhay si Marcos. Hindi ho totoo yun. Magplano-plano na ho tayo kung paano natin i-dispose yan o paano natin ipagdidesisyonan tukol dyan. Yan na lang ang natitira. Kapag nawala ho yan, wala na. Wala na tayong pangahawakan. Kaso nga lang, kapag hindi naman natin binigay, gigirahin tayo. Lulusubin tayo. Kagamitan tayo ng dahas. Kagamitan tayo ng pwersa. Kaya pag-isipan ho natin ng mga mabuti. Pero wag muna siguro natin isurrender ng kadung-kadali. Bagamat na meron ng mga nababalita na may mga naghahakot. May naghahakot dyan daw sa Kamindanawan. Okay, thank you. Jerry Lianto, maray na banggi sa inyong dua, Canton and Serjan. Jerry Coritana, Telma Hermohino, sana matuloy na ang blessing. Malabo, puspon. Chairman Kofed, good evening Canton sa ating mga followers. May Kenny Abe TV, Vilma Conejo. Say Vilma, kamusta na dyan sa Germany? Nag-resign na ba si Merkel? Good evening Kuya Anton, Princess Elizabeth, Madam Mix, Prinsipe, Doc Harry, si FLM, stay healthy po kayong lahat. May Kenny, gandang gabi po. Nila Yumo, hi Nila, thank you so much sa pakikinig. Skal 1850, good evening Canton, good evening Liceo Skal. Leo Munoz, Susana Di Guzman, gusto na sila Prinsipe. Hindi ko pa sila naaanyayahan dahil abala tayo sa mga kaganapan sa Amerika. Pero yun nga, kung kukunin mo sa Central Bank, kung ang pag-aari ng Central Bank, doon din pala sa mga kabal, ano asahan mo dyan? Wala. Kung na pupunta mo sa IMF, sa World Bank, kasama pa sa banking cartel yan, ano pa asahan natin? Wala. O kung Shanghai Bank, nandoon na yung pera, ano pa asahan natin dyan? Kabilang sila sa cartel. Wala. Yun ang tumambad ngayon. Maliban na lang kung meron kayong idea. Sabihin niyo po sa akin na mukhang may solusyon pa. Pero so far sa nakikita ko, kung kabal nga ang may hawak niyan, mahirapan tayo. Tignan nyo nga ngayon, no? Katakot-takot na kasinungalingan ng pinamumukha nila para maging totoo. Para maging totoo sa perception at pananaw ng tao. Pinipihit ho nila ang katotohanan. Binabali ho nila yung katotohanan. Ang kasinungalingan ginagawa nilang katotohanan para manatili lamang sila. Pero hindi pa yata tapos ng laban. Nim Portua, good evening po dito sa amin sa Barangay Mambog, Binangonan, Rizal. Nakarehistro na kami sa National ID. May nagbahay-bahay na. Thank you. Mabuti naman. Mabuti. Thank you. Diyan sa Barangay Mambog. Binangonan, Rizal. Meron nang nagpapa-ID, nagpapabahay-bahay. Good news. Sue Ancheta, Rolly Reyes. Good evening sa lahat na hello, Mr. John. Nice to see you again on YouTube. Si Rolly Reyes, Yan ba si Kay Mr. Macmod, nasa International Treasury Controller ng Woton. Tinatapos na ni Apo Lakay. Naku po, 1987, pati legal heir, owner and sole arbiter. Ang problema, Mr. Macmod, buta kung ibigay yan. Mga kawatan, we are dealing with thieves. Yung mga banking cartel, magnanakaw po yan. Ismail Pagaran, God bless you kay Anton at Kaed. Idol Witty Gomez. Good evening, Julie Mia, watching from Cyprus. Cyprus. Enrique Peruelo. Good evening sa Bienvenido Petil ng Pasig, Conrad Ramos, magandang gabi. Glyza and Zaira, I just want to greet all the viewers. Kanto, good evening watching from Quezon City. Mina Dakiwag, kay Margarita Selga, Ozzy Rodriguez, salamat sa iyong patuloy na membership, Kuya Ozzy, ng Sydney, Australia. This divine will is unlimited. Why not just give the government officials 1 billion each? Ayun na nga po, imbes na mag-invest ang gobyerno natin sa bakuna, ano na lang po, pamigay nyo na lamang ho yan, lalakas pa yung mga tao. Magiging masigla pa yung mga tao kaysa doon sa, ay, tara na, magpabakuna na. Buti kung gigising yan mga yan at magmamadali. Pero sabihin niya, may pera na rito. Imbes na binili sa bakuna, pamimigay na lang ito, pambili natin ng sardinas at gatas. Di lalakas tayo. Kaysa dun sa nakafocus ang gobyerno natin sa bakuna. Hindi naman sigurado yun. Tsaka meron po tayong right of refusal kasi yan po, itong mga bakuna na dumadating, hindi po yan sertipikado pa na safe at epektibo. Hindi pa po sertipikado na ligtas at epektibo. Lahat po yan nasa emergency approval lamang ho. Wala pa ho yan yung tinatawag na aprobado na pwede nang gamitin ng pangmasa. Kaya kung kayo ay pupunta sa center, siguraduhin nyo po na meron kayong pipirmahang waiver. Kasi kayo po ay bahagi ho ng eksperimento. Guinea pig ho. Mga walang hiya ho yung mga vaccine manufacturer, kita nyo. Yung kahit pamigay pa nila yung vaccine niyan at hindi na ibenta, tutubo pa rin ho sila dahil yung mga tuturukan is subjects ho kayo. Subjects. Imbis na bayaran ng pharmaceutical company, hindi libre. Libre yung dato, bibigay rin yung sa kanila. Yung mga datos na makukuha nila. Imbis na binabayaran nila yon. Kaya nga ho ang direksyon, imbis na mag-invento sila ng drug, ng therapeutic, yung gamot. Hindi naman ho gamot yung vaccine imbes na mag-invento sila ng gamot na inaabot ng 10 taon hanggang 15 years bago maaprobahan ng FDA, billion ho ang kanilang gagastusin. Sa proseso ng magmula ng mga trials, sa research, adjustment, etc. Whereas sa vaccine, i-produce na nila yan, libre pa yung mga trials. Dahil kayo, mga partisipante, hindi ho kayo mismo, yung mga partisipante, yun na po ang mga trial subjects. Trial subjects. Kaya may right of refusal ho ang bawat ayaw magpabakuna. Ang problema, kapag itong cancellation culture na tinatawag, sige, ayaw mo magpabakuna. Di hindi ka na pwede sumakay ng aeroplano, hindi ka na pwede sumakay sa MRT, LRT, etc., etc. Kasi hindi ka nabakunahan. Kung babaliktarin mo naman, kung ako ba'y nagpabakuna, doktor, hindi na ako kailangan magsuot ng face mask. Baka sabihin magsusot ka pa rin ng face mask. Ba't pa ako magpapabakuna? Ano bang pagkakaiba? Pag nabakunahan ako, ba't pa ako magpi-face mask? Hindi na ako nakakahawa at hindi na rin ako mahawaan. Ba't pa ako magpi-face mask? Ang problema, kapag nabakunahan, ay talagang papasok ko kayo, susungo kayo sa tawag na point of no return. Pero meron pa ho kayong right of refusal dyan dahil yan ay nasa experimental stages. Pero wala pong masyadong nangungusap. Kapag pinakinggan mo yung mga pinag-uusapan doon sa Malacanang, kakanin mo siguradong-sigurado na yung mga general na nandyan na ang bakuna. Hindi man lang nila isinangalang-alang na yan ay hindi pa sa ganap na ligtas at epektibo. Okay? Put in the newspapers the taxes paid by oligarchs non-stop until they stop corruption. Ang problema, Kuya Ozzy, mga oligarchs yan pa ang pinakamababang binabayaran kaysa dun sa mga wage earners. Tsaka sa mga galing sa SMEs. Danilo Estelonio, magandang gabi. Ferdinando de Velas, good evening Sir Anton. Sa ating guest, kamusta na si Prinsipe, Princess Elizabeth? Wala po muna, hindi po muna natin siya pinatatawag, na problematic tayo ngayon. Christine Sagnip, ako hindi na naniniwala na makukubra yan kapag meron ka katakot-takot pang papeles. Yung sinabi nga kanina dyan, yung mga papeles ni Imelda, mga ganito, ganyan yan. Kalimutan ko na lang yung term niya. Pero kung meron man silang kayamanan, kanila lang yun. Wala tayong umasa na ipamimigay pa. Po, kailan mo namigay yung mga yun? Watching from Macau, Christine Sagnip. Kay Rene Baldove, good evening sa iyo, Rene. Rob Samrak, gandang gabi ko kay Anton. OC, work with me at supply of money to budget department, 10 trillion US. Chito Lingues, good evening ka Anton. So happy to hear from you again, more power. Thank you, Chito. Cirilo Lingues, hindi Cirilo. Jeric Soritana, Carding Marquez, magandang gabi. Sammy Likdan. John Areceneaux was also having flaws. Don't give 100% trust to him. Franz Angra, kaya huwag manghusga kapag hindi nakita sa dalawang mata. Jack Patti, si Jack. Kaibigan ko rin yan si Jack eh. Liza Tan, good evening sa iyo, Liza. Kyoko Hernandez, good evening sa iyo, Ryoko. Roman Mangusin, FLM must say reconfirm scammer, but beware also with this John. I said that John will be invited by the immigration. Wala na yun, nasa Amerika yun eh. Maria Luisa Esguera, good evening, Kanto. Nice topic. How's the bae? I don't understand anything. Hello, Anton. More power to your show. Shout out to my Pekog families. O na, Sabado ha. Magwa-wine tayo, magwa-wine. Napasubo ko ka sa pure English, but you're doing such a great job, my friend. Thank you. He who always praise the king is the one who wished to be a king and introduced John to be very careful. Siya na ba si King John? Vilma, oh my God, Kuya Anton, shocking mga news, oy. Amoy yung TV, your guest is hallucinating. The Duterte will never support a foreigner, but Chinese government. Kasi nga may information. Hindi ko napanood ninyo yung video ko. Kung bakit takot na takot ang gobyerno natin sa mga Chinese. Dahil may info. Takot panakot ngayon yung info eh. Yung informasyon. Sabi ni Vilma, hello po, Princess Elizabeth, paano po magpa-member sa Pekog family po? Pumunta lamang po doon sa Pekog 999 sa website ni. At ayan, just go to our page link. Erwin Villena, good evening. Lorenzo Di Maculangan, this man is pure humanity. Marsan Marquina, Duterte hate foreigners. That's why John, don't pretending na ikaw may history na feeling. Maria Luisa Esguera, Kuya Anton, sana makasali na ako dyan sa blessing na darating. Ang problema, Maria Luisa, nawawala na yata. Hanggang dito naaayos, hanggang di bumabagsak ang kabal, hindi natin makukuha ang blessing. Nagahaman yan eh. Will, from the start, I know those people are nothing but a scam. I've been telling this point all along, okay? Danilo Polintan, wag na kayong umasa sa mga nagpapakilalang soul signatory at nagpapa-interview. Lahat sila ay mga opportunista lang. O, lalo na si... maraming alam ang... naman ganyan. Ha? Kung merong half-truth, yung BP Lenny, suspect din at kay Mangutin. Na tinutukoy niyong billionaire bakla ay si... ganun ba yun? Hindi ko alam yun. Joey Sayon, good evening. The things that I notice is we, the Filipinos, are easy target of this scammer because we, by nature, are trusting people. We, without a doubt, will trust anything without basis because that's us. Nakakayang magtanong eh, no? Baka ma-insulto eh. Albert Avila, ano ba yung kaanton? Sa mukha pa lang. Huwag naman. Huwag tayo magkano ng character assassination. Danilo, 5 kataang pinaimbestigan ni Melda Marcos sa NBI. Nagpakilala. Danilo talaga. But you know, Mr. John, one we realize that we are scam. We, the Filipinos, will not trust those people ever again. Yes, Canton, start with lies, it'll end up as a lie. Pinocchio type. Teresita Ibanez, good evening, Canton. Mabuti na lahat. Maraming deposit na English sa isipan mo. Naka-impact. Thank you. So, from Butuan City. O nga, napapasubo tayo. Hi, Sir Rondan, it's been a while. Kamusta na po kayo? Okay lang naman ako. Simple woman. Ronaldo Pacaldo. Elmer Fernandez. Do you really know what you're talking about? Look like it came from nowhere. Aisa Arancina from Tacloban, Leyte. Idolman Zamora watching from Tarlac. Naku, Kanton, meron pa rin nagpapakilalang Marcos family sa babae at siya daw ay chosen. Ang dami talagang willing to go to jail. Jocelyn. Ang pangalan, her name is Jocelyn. Excuse me, it's Marilyn. Alias niya Marcos, kahukom. June Taras. Ano ang alam nitong... Hindi naman ganyan. James the Great. Present, Sir Anton. Thank you, James the Great. June Taras. Credentials muna, please. Vilma Rodrigo Conejo. Stay healthy, Madam Princess. Angela Laporo. You are a good research person, a researcher, and an investigator. Keep it up. WOT and succeed for United will praise. Okay, thank you. June Taras, yan na mismo ginagawa ni Mr. John. Those are the people with self-interest. They make money on the lies they tell the people. Some are collecting for ID, some are vending for sale to those members. Money made. Jesse Nadella, Alfredo Tonga, good vibes. Thank you. Thank you, Len Mela. Thank you, thank you. Let's unite, save humanity from the plan of the elites. Yun ang pag-usapan natin kung paano natin sisimulan yan. Samula tayo ng konting movement. Pakita natin na nag-iisip po kami. Hindi naman kami tumututol sa bakuna. Oh, yung mga anak ko nga namin, pinabukanwahan nga ho namin yan eh. Pero itong particular na COVID bakuna ho, pag-iisipan po muna namin. Huwag nyo naman po sanang ipilit. At pakinggan nyo rin po yung mga sinasabi ng mga doktor natin. Hindi ho kaso general lang in charge eh. Di, anong nalalaman nun? Nakarinig lang ng bakuna. Sige, turok na. Di ba? Charlie Garcia, tell John to go back to Lucy. Hello po, Sir Anton, Mr. John, good evening, sir. Tama ang sinasabi ni John, we had to wake up. Miguel Surya, hey, good evening. Sir, mayong gabi, musta na po? We are watching right now. Shout out sa bunso na si Maria Lourdes. Maria Lourdes, anak ni Miguel Estiliore, Maria Lourdes Estiliore, shout out. Rodrigo Boral, good evening, Neni Maming. Hope we're still okay in the coming days. Nice to hear topics with your quest. Bonifacio Rizal, 09 Nicole Lifu. Kanto, kumusta? May saan pa po tayo na wealth distribution? Wala pa. Watching from Atos Cristo. Bumalabs, lalong lumabo. Nang makita natin ang mga malalaking bangko na kung saan i-claim, maging yung mga Swiss banks, isang malaking kabal. Isang malaking banking kabal. Wala tayong asahan dyan kapag gano'n. Kunin na natin yung leksyon na nakuha kay Dinanas. Dinanas ni Rodriguez. Yung sa panahon ni Severino Santa Romana. Ano ba? Nakalimutan ko na. Kababanggit ko lang kanina. Tsaka ni Luz Rambano. Tarsiana Rodriguez. Fake si Tarsiana Rodriguez. Sabi naman ni Tarsiana Rodriguez. Mysterious man. Walang Marcos sa Woton. Maghintay na lang. Nene Maming. Well, I don't really buy Principal's story nor believe in him. Mr. Yonko, kamusta na po? May problema eh. Baka may lumitaw na bagong anggulo. Basta no? Ang aking nakikita lang talaga sa ngayon, kung totoong may mga nakabaon dito sa Pilipinas at totoong may mga keepers na nakakaalam kung saan, wag na muna ninyo po ibunyag. Pag may pupunta sa inyo, tinuruan ko pa eh. Kahit Amerikano pa yan. Dahil yan malamang sasabihin, kami mo may-ari niyan. May pupuntang Hapon, may pupuntang Papal Nuncio. Si Papal Nuncio nga daw pupunta sa mga bundok-bundok, naniniktik. Naniniktik. Yung mga pare, naniniktik. Yung mga ganyang mga lalo na lumilitaw ngayon kung gaano ka-influensyal ang Vatican. Huwag natin munang pakakawalan yan. Huwag na muna natin pakakawalan yan dahil kapag pinakawalan natin ng basta-basta yan, malulusaw po yung pagiging importante natin. Malulusaw po yung ating kinakapitan o pinangahawakan. Ayan yung magkaroon ng mga pa sila. Ayan yung muna mga pa sila. Walang Marcos, maghintay na lang tayo. Larry Abenir, good evening. Dean Martin Balbada, Maya Pabengi po ka Anton. Thank you, Maya Pabengi. Chris Enriquez, kamusta? Rosalia Rodel, shout out po Sanitation Unit. Sanitation Unit ng San Pedro Laguna. God bless and more power. Thank you, Rosalia. As I said, Prinsipe is a cabal. So what do you think, Anton? And sabi ni Nene Maming. Hindi, ngayon ko na magsalita. Hindi ko siya kilala. Albert Loresca. Governor sa Cebu kanina nag-live para sa kalokohan ng DOH, PCR test at hospital sa COVID na yan. Tama ka, Alfred. Albert, dahil dyan, yung PCR test ho pala, may tinatawag silang threshold. Yung cycles nila, may tinatawag na cycle. Adjustable ho yan, ina-adjust ho yun. Nai-adjust ho yata nila ng pinakamataas na cycle. Kaya, ultimo daw yung buhok. Ultimo nakikita dyan sa swab mo, napagkakamalang COVID. Yan ang sabi ng isang explanation ni Dr. Mikovic ba yun? Mikovic. Kaya, unreliable ho yun. No? Lalo na kapag pinapasok dito sa ilong. Hindi ho nila ma-isolate. Yung mga nagre-research, kailangan ma-isolate nila yung virus para mapag-aralan. Tanong mo kay Duque, Dr. Duque, may ebidensya na ho ba kayo na yung bakuna na yung effective? May ebidensya na ho ba tayo? Kung anong yung mga test na yan effective, accurate ho talaga yung mga readouts niyan? Dr. Duque, meron na ba tayo yun? Kung walang mai-provide, edi muna tayo, mag-further research muna tayo bago ninyo i-administer sa amin yung bakuna na yan o yung mga swab test na yan. Okay? Hello, gandang gabi. Gina Olivero, sana mag-relax na. Rosalina Marcos, hello, Kanto, miss your live show. Good evening. Ako rin, na-miss ko rin po kayo. Miguel Estrella, sir, magandang gabi, sir. Nanonood kami ngayon. Shout out sa mga anak ko na si AZ Esteliore, kay Marilu Esteliore, Malu, at isa po kami nagiging. Thank you, Meg, sa Player Babila. Good evening, Kanto. Maylin po ng Commonwealth. Huwag po tayong mawala ng pag-asa. God is on our side. We are the chosen one. I believe in that. Anon. Yan pong susunod na pandemic. Yung mga nabakunahan. Mas peligro pa ho yung mga mRNA pala dahil ang purpose nun i-alter yung inyong DNA. Pag na-alter yung DNA nyo, iba na. Ba't nagkaganyan na si Ka Anton? Iba na ako milos. Hindi na ako nakikilala. Nabakunahan lang. Global scam ang COVID. Tama ka dyan. Ako naniniwala ako. Ay nako, hindi tama pag-iisip nating gobyerno how many percent ba ang tuturukan nila? 70? Ilan na lang ang matitira. Tapos mga sundalo pa. Naku po, baka mamaya pagka hindi na sumunod yung mga sundalo natin, baka na-alter na yung kanilang DNA. Sa China sumunod yun. Sa command ng China, hindi sa command ng Pilipino. Basta masasabi ko, maniwala at magdasal. Sabi ni Flair Babila. Bill Matuting, good evening, Kanto. Kamustahan po? Meron po ba ang pangako ni Prinsipe? Huwag muna tayong umasa. Dahil yung ulit ko, yung bangkong pagkukunan ay bangko ng mga kawatan. Teresita Ibanez, sila mismo, kawatan. Kawatan. Dahil nga yung kwento sa akin ng aking kaibigan na namayapa na, sinisingil nga yung 500 million, nilalabas na doon sa bangko. Pare, labas ko na yung pera ko. Ayaw bigay ng anak. Ayaw bigay. Di tumakbo yung matanda doon sa tatay na magkaibigan sila. Pare, nilaga ko yung 500 million dahil nagtitiwala ako sa bangko mo. Ngayon kailangan ko ilabas. Ayaw ibigay ng anak mo. Di pumunta yung tatay, sinamahan yung nagkiklaim. Anak, bigay mo na kasi si Mr. ganito kaibigan natin yan. Ayaw bigay ng anak. Ayaw! Salbahe! Sabi nung tatay, naku, ano ba ito? Wala akong magagawa dahil siya na CEO Ayun, nakakarma yung anak, salbahe. Nabuwal. Nabuwal. May tao talaga sa taas, ha? Teresita Ibanez, mas makatotohanan si Mig, kaso lang wala pang national ID, hindi pa makakakilos ang central bank para sa bank account. Ang kanilang gagawin para sa bawat Pilipino, keep safe, Canton. Thank you, Teresita. We'll have Migs one day. One day soon, ha? Nestor Santos, Tanzania refused to get vaccine. Oo, marami dyan sa Africa, ayaw na nila. Kasi nga, yung programa ni Bill Gates, nandun sa India, nagbababakuna siya doon, nagbababakuna, Yung mga bata, naparalisa tuloy. Imbis na ma-eradicate yung polio, wala na ang polio, hindi na nga threat eh. Dumami yung polio. At yung mga babae, mga nanay, katakot-takot na sakit ang inabot. Sabi nga bakit nag-a-administer ng polio ng vaccine ito si Gates? Hindi naman siya doktor, no? Si Billy Bakuna. Okay, Canton, Kong Hei Fat Choy. Kong Hei Fat Choy, malapit na. Melo Gold, bago magpaputok, bago magpaturok, magsaliksik muna. At baka tumirik, tama ka dyan. Say no to forced vaccination because COVID is no virus but certificate of vaccination identification device. Let's unite to stop this madness. Sige, Bel, pag-usapan natin yan. Paano simulan natin, no? Kung paano natin sisimulan yan. At nag-ano nga po ako pala, paki-ano na lang yung aking backup channel para kung sakaling mapag-initan itong channel natin, meron tayong pamalit. Paki-ano na lang po, paki-subscribe na lang po dun sa ating backup channel, no? Ipapakita ko sa inyo yung aking backup channel, Teka ha. Info Balita. Hanapin nyo lang yan eh. Unique naman ho yan. Info Balita. Ayan, Info Balita ni Ka Anton. Ayan. Para yung mga maaanghang. Kung meron man akong mga maaanghang na mensahe, diyan ko na lang po muna ipadadaan. Hindi muna dito sa ating main channel. Diyan muna sa Info Balita ni Ka Anton. Maraming salamat po. Okay, pag-usapan natin yan. Paano tayo magkakasama-sama? At yung iba rin, mga grupo ninyo, mag-usap-usap po kayo. No? Ka Anton, just have faith lang po tayo. Okay, thank you, Jennifer. Chairman Coffee, Ka Anton, Rev Gov na. Merlin Landicho, hello po, gandang gabi. Jennifer, ang mga dilawan damaso naman talaga mga kabals. Wilfredo Galimba, kay Jennifer Kadungog, puro kabalbalan lang po ang Yang Kani. Ang kaya galit na galit sila kay Trump dahil nag-withdraw ng support si Trump din sa sino ba sumusuporta sa si Billy Bakuna. China. Kaya subservient sila diyan sa kanilang mga sponsors. Maiza Biris, good evening. Na-late po ako. Okay lang yan. Replay ko na lang bukas. Gandang gabi, miss ko po yung live mo, Canton. Ganun din ako. Miss ko rin po kayo. Nene, alam ko yata yung anak na nakarma, Canton. Kaya nga. Mismong Chinese yung nagkwento sa akin. Kaya lang namatay na yung aking kaibigan. May his soul rest in peace. Manuel de los Santos, may sulsul ng China sa Myanmar Army na mag-coup para mawala ang impluensya ng India. Ganun pala yun na Manuel, And kay Migs, ipinawagan natin, sir, na itigil na ng gobyerno ang gumastos ng pera para hindi masayang ang pera at ilaan na lang na ilalaan para sa bakuna. Dapat nga, sana ganun na lang. At kung ipamigay na lang yan bilang ayuda, lalakas tayo. Lalakas yung ating immune system, lalo na kapag nalamang merong panibagong round ng ayuda. Hindi yung ganito na marami nang naperhisyo sa atin dahil dyan sa pandemic na yan. Kaya sana matauhan yung ating pamahalan. Sana matauhan, kaya lang mukhang takot eh. Retrax Net Villa. Nagkabukingan na 15 years in the making. Ang alin po, ang alin? Retrax Net Villa, 15 years in the making. Ano kaya yun? Gawa tayo ng website mo, Canton, para doon pupunta mga followings mo kahit saan tayo. Sige. Mag-isip tayo ng magandang pangalan. No? At mag-isip tayo, pag-usapan natin, Mel. Pag-usapan natin. Kasi importante ito eh. Importante ito. Hindi naman tayo mag-ipupulang naman ng ating mga sentiments, yung ating boses. Ilalaga ko natin doon sa platform na yon. Kung kayo ay mga doktor, please magsalita naman ho kayo. Maraming nagsasalita ng doktor sa iba't ibang bansa, pero dito sa Pilipinas, medyo timid pa, mahiyain pa. Mahiyain pa, kaya magsalita na po kayo. Meron na ba? Kung meron man, sabihin nyo nga sa akin kung sinong sa tingin ninyo na mga doktor na medyo may lakas ng loob. Na hindi lang si Bigeri ang naririnig natin. Hindi lang si Dokdoke. Hindi lang yung mga cohorts ng DOH. Okay? Don't worry, makakarating kay Prinsipe mga message niyo, sabi ni Jun. Nagbabasa yun. Binabasa ni Prinsipe mga mensahe. Tama ka. Anton, baka bigla mawala channel mo. Salamat, may ibang channel. Kaya nga iwasan natin lahat ng bakuna ngayon kasi gagawin nila ang lahat na mag-ingatan tayo kung ano man ang inyong i-offer ng ayuda. Meron nga ako nabasa na yung pagpapabakuna nila ng mga experimental vaccine. Lahat ito considered experimental vaccine. Hindi ho yan sinasabi sa atin. Hindi ho yan sinasabi na ewan ko lang kung meron na itong bakuna na inyong tatanggapin ay isang experimental na vaccine. Wala pa ho itong approval, kundi meron lang itong emergency use approval na hindi po nangangahulugan na sertipikadong ligtas, sertipikadong epektibo. At kayo po, dapat sasabihin ganun, At kayo po ay isa sa mga mapapabilang sa mga experimental subjects. Ano man tawag niyan? Isa po kayo sa mga experimental subjects. Payag po ba kayo? Okay, hindi nila pwede tayong ipilit. Kahit ba sabihin frontliner ka, kahit ba sabihin kailangan niyan dahil ikaw ay sundalo, ikaw ay still, dapat ipaliwanag nila sa mga sundalo na, Sergeant, ikaw ay isa sa mga experimental subjects lamang at yung mga dato mo padadala rin namin yan. Kita nyo? Ngayon, kapag ikaw ay pinilit, meron po palang tinatawag na Nuremberg Code. Yung Nuremberg Code, Nuremberg, yan ay lugar doon sa Germany na kung saan yung mga war criminals ay nilitis. No? Kasama po dyan sa mga war criminals, yung mga doktor noon na nag-eksperimento doon sa mga Hudyo. Yun, may mga binalatan, ganyan, si Dr. Mengele yata, kung sino pa yan, ay doon po nilitis. Kaya pwede po i-invoke yung paglabag sa Nuremberg Code ng mga, kung sino man yung mga magpipilit na bakunahan kayo na labag sa inyong kagustuhan. Dahil sila mismo, kapag ito ay luminaw na, ay maaring makasuhan na war crime. Yung mga nurse, mga doktor na nagkonsinti, na nagtulak, na nag-promote, maaari po silang war criminal kapag nagkataon na. Okay, sige. Tama na, okay? Nene, iwasan natin ang bakuna. Doc Iggy, sino pa si Doc Iggy? Sige nga, pakiano nga yung link niya. Tama po, mapamagat ng name ng channel, mabuhay po kayo. Wilfredo, lagi na kaming updated, baka isang araw hindi na tayo makita, baka malayo lahat tayo. Huwag naman. Watching from Germany, from Ugti, Pajer, and Gemma Ariclores, God bless. Lord, guide us in the right way. Nestor Santos, mukhang hanggang dito sa Pinas, bibili na rin ng lupa si Bill Gates. May mga brokers na naghahanap na malawak sa lupang mabibili. Ano raw gagawin, Nestor? Ano raw gagawin? Alam mo, napaka-powerful ng mga big pharma, Big pharma, big tech. Naalala nyo doon sa Tarlac, meron din isang magaling na doktor na neuropathy yung kanya. Tayo siya ng wellness center. Pero pinatigil ho yun. Oo, pinatigil ho ng DOH dahil sa impluensya ng big pharma. Walang iya talaga. Orly Agsalod, gandang gabi. Jennifer, Anton, karamihan ng mga doctors na bansa, corrupted na ni Rothschild. Sinabi mo pa. Kaya wala nagsasalita, wala silang pakialam. Pero may napakinggan akong webinar ng mga doktor dyan sa UP. Sinasabi nga nila na for the research lahat, for their study, huwag po tayong mabahala sa COVID, huwag po tayong matakot sa COVID. Sinasabi ho nila, meron po akong reference yan. Kaya lang, hindi sila nabibigyan ng boses. Ang mga pinakikinggan, ang mga nilalathala, nagkakaisa yung mga mainstream media. Ay, COVID. Sir, asan na po si Mr. Prinsipe? Madam Mitchell, Princess Elizabeth, 5 years na akong nakikinig. Wala pa naman tayong 5 years, Kristeta. Wala pa. 3 years pa lang. Sa totoo po, biktima ng aking anak. Buti na lang hindi kasing lala. Sayang napakatalino pa naman. Sanang, dahil sa vision, yung baby pa siya. Ganun ba? Anong vaccine yun? Vaccine ba? Eulalia Valencia, dito po sa Ireland, pag work mo sa ospital, kailangan ka magpabaksin. Kaya nga Eulalia, yun ang problema. Chairman COVID, Canton, please spirit the advocacy of one nation, one goal, one objective for Filipino. Ano tayo? Please suggest the name. Bigyan nyo ba ako suggestion name? Sa Thursday, please develop a suggestion, yung name, tapos yung goal, objective. Ito ba temporary lamang, ad hoc, para dito lamang sa pagharap dito sa problema natin sa COVID, o more on long term? Ano nyo po yan, panukala na po niyan. So tayo po yung para magkita-kita sa darating na Webes. Ano po, yan ang ating pagtunan ng pansin. Bueno, tayo mag-good night na, hanggang dyan na muna po tayo. At tayo po yung muling magkita-kita sa darating na Webes. Okay? At maraming salamat sa ating naging panauhin na si John Areceneaux. Areceneaux na lang daw At sa inyo po mga aking ginigiliw na taga-subaybay. Mel, nausap tayo kung paano natin masisimulan yan. Okay. Israel po apelid. Oy, sir, yung kamag-anak niyo po ang taga-balita sa akin, Israel po apelido niyo. Kamag-anak ko yan, pag ganyan. Basta Israel, isa lang kami. Agbayani, Benigno Jr. Manila Doctors Hospital. Okay, Agbayani, Benigno Jr. Manila Doctors Hospital. Okay, June Taras, thank you Immune Baby Vision. Hanapin ko sa YouTube. Okay, yung kamag-anak niyo po ang taga-balita sa akin. Okay, thank you, Kristeta Ramos. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng mga nag-participate, sa inyo pong mga komentaryo, at syempre sa ating panawin na si John Areceneaux. Kung tayo may internet, kasi po last week talagang wala akong internet, 3 araw. Tayo po muli magkita-kita kung hindi po ako mawawala ng internet sa darating na Webes. Hanggang sa muli, Kaanton po nag-iwan sa lahat ng isang magandang gabi. Good night.
In the still of the night.